As a rising star in business and a rising star as a sales communication professional, you owe it to yourself to ask yourself a very important question, and that is, how do you attract the ideal client?
Elevate your business with 10x Branding and Marketing LLC. Our expert team specializes in enhancing your brand's visibility and connecting you with your ideal clients. We employ strategies that increase reach, leaving a lasting impact and driving client conversion. Trust and credibility are vital in businesses and excel in building them even with a limited budget. Our cost-effective approaches ensure you get the best results without overspending. Ready to boost your business cash flow? Contact us at 332-235 T99 and let 10x Branding and Marketing LLC guide you to success. Our focus is on elevating your visibility, which directly translates to growth. Experience the power of effective branding and marketing with us and witness your business thrive.
It is your ability to ask this question and to respond to it in the most appropriate manner that is going to set you up for success. The ability to respond to this question in the appropriate way is what's going to position you to command attention, pique interest, arouse desire, move the client into action, and make impact. It is your ability to respond to this in the most authentic way that's going to set you up to optimize visibility, reach, and impact, and client conversion, and come all the way to cash flow optimization. It is your ability to respond to this question appropriately that is going to set you up to build confidence, trust, and credibility, and become the influencer that you long to be, that has that magic touch, that golden touch, that literally have the ability to turn anything into gold because of your knowledge of how to attract the ideal client. I want you to think about this. Have you ever played a game of puzzle? Puzzles are small pieces of things that you have to put together in the most precise manner. And if they don't come together in this precise manner, the puzzle never looks finished. I want you to associate this concept to your matchmaking approach to the ideal client. So you have a product or a service. How do you know that your product and your service is matching the needs, wants, and expectations, the dreams, hopes, and aspirations of the ideal client? If you do not know this, it means that you are not an expert at playing that game of puzzle. And that is what you need to be. The reason you're not going to win, command attention, pique interest, arouse desire, and all of the above is largely because you're not investing enough time, talent, and resources to understand your ideal client so as to innovate in alignment with the needs, wants, and expectations of the ideal client. Now, let's go into this just a little bit. As a rising star in business and as a rising star as a sales communication professional, you owe it to yourself to invest as much time as possible to identify, to know the ideal client. But what exactly does it take to know your ideal client? We have introduced a concept that we call the ideal client stress test, because the ideal client stress test will walk you through a step-by-step approach. It really enables you at the end of this process to have a clinical understanding of your ideal client. For example, you will learn things like how to establish brand relevance. At this particular threshold of the learning curve, you will begin to learn who is the ideal client based on their biodata markers. You begin to understand what are their pain points, and understanding these two important concepts is what's going to be setting you up to innovate products and services that are truly aligned to their needs, wants, and expectations. And largely because you're able to innovate based on data, you're innovating to align, you're likely, once you follow the process, you're better positioned to attract your ideal client. Now, let me say a couple of things before I come back to the ideal client stress test. One of the biggest mistakes that we see rising stars in business do and sales communication professionals do is that you move straight to that point of innovating products and services or providing products and services without having a clear mental picture of who's the ideal client and what are their pain points. That simply means that you are selling a product and a service based on the fact that you have innovated products and services, and you assume that the ideal client has a yearning desire for your products and services, only to recognize that you are not playing the game of the puzzle right. right. You're not getting that precise fit of the small items coming together. You feel this sense of discomfort because you're not investing enough time, talent, and resources to get to understand the ideal client, and by extension, build that healthy, productive relationship with the ideal client so as to create that continuous opportunity to understand the ideal client, so as to align innovation to their existing and possibly future expectations that the ideal client has.
Essential Care Pharmacy, providing more than your healthcare needs. Get the best in muscle-building products, health supplement products, beauty care products, medical supplies, colognes and cosmetics, blood pressure testing kits. Access our medical doctors, and so much more. Essential Care Pharmacy, your leading healthcare provider.
So one way in which you're going to position yourself to be in that position of strength to attract the ideal client is to invest as much time as possible to understand the ideal client based on their biodata markers. And we have went into this extensively in previous broadcasts. So let me walk you through a couple of things that is important in attempting to gain a thorough understanding of the ideal client. First of all, we talk about establishing brand relevance. As you set the stage to establish brand relevance, some of the things that you're supposed to be familiar with is who is the ideal client based on their biodata markers. And there's a lot of things that you need to understand here. You need to understand their pain points, and it's based on understanding these two concepts you then innovate products and services. The second concept that you want to move to is market viability. And market viability begins by looking at who your market size, your market density, your market dispersion. And it moves up to look at things like SWOT analysis and PES analysis. As time progresses, we're going to be going deep into this analysis so you have a clear mental picture as to how to deploy the ideal client stress test. Next, we move into concepts like market accessibility. The last thing that you want to do is to innovate products and services only to recognize that you don't have access to the ideal client. The ideal client don't have access to you because of market viability factors. Have you done the PES analysis? Have you done the SWOT analysis? So there's so many factors that you need to understand as you do that deep dive into understanding the ideal client. Accessibility is a very deep concept for us to go into. As time progresses, we will do that deep dive into the ideal client stress test. Later, you become an expert with these concepts. The next concept that you want to understand as you go up this ladder is urgency and immediacy. You see, very often you innovate products and services and you try to attract the ideal client, not taking into consideration the urgency and immediacy of your MVO, your minimum or most viable offer. You simply provide your offer, not knowing how urgent it is, not knowing how immediate it is. And this is happening largely because you are not investing enough time, talent, and resources to identify the ideal client and to truly understand their pain points. Because when you understand the ideal client and their pain point, as you innovate, you are now innovating to reach urgent needs. You're now innovating to reach immediate needs. But you don't know this simply because you haven't done the ideal client stress test. Additional concepts for us to really go deep into is to really assess the client's ability to pay. Now, the client's ability to pay is a demographic analysis, and this goes deep. And there are a number of variables that you need to understand when you are attempting to position the organization, leadership, intellectual competence to understand the client's ability to pay. There are important concepts here that you would need to lock into and unlock so as to ensure that you have a clinical interpretation of this, because this again is going to have a significant play on the viability of field that you're actually in. If you don't have this body of knowledge, again, you're speculating, and we always emphasize speculation has to be excluded from the business decision-making process.
Essential Care Pharmacy, providing more than your healthcare needs. Get the best in muscle-building products, health supplement products, beauty care products, medical supplies, colognes and cosmetics, blood pressure testing kits. Access our medical doctors, and so much more. Essential Care Pharmacy, your leading healthcare provider.
So let's talk a little bit about the ability to pay, which is demographic data. Some of the things that helps you to understand if the client has an ability to pay is their employment status, their income status, their marital status. All of these things play a significant role in helping you to make an informed and educated decision. But of course, you don't know what you don't know. As we go deeper into the ideal client stress test, all of this information becomes available to you. So you are able to make a better, smarter, wiser decision when it comes to starting and scaling a business. In fact, long before you start that business, you want to ensure that you have this body of knowledge that is helping you to make better, smarter, wiser business decision. Now, the ability to pay does not constitute the willingness to pay. The willingness to pay now plays into psychographic. But how well do you know the ideal client psychographics so as to innovate in alignment with those psychographics and position products and services based on those psychographics so as to attract the desired results that you want? So these are very important concepts that you need to pause a bit and really take the time to understand it. And I promise you that over the next few days and weeks, we are going to continue to do a deep dive into these concepts so as to ensure that you understand the ideal client stress test ladder and how to apply this concept to your business to 10x and leapfrog your business potential to cash flow. In the event that you love this message, and I want to encourage you to like, subscribe, and share. I also want to encourage you to reach out to us in the event that you need more information on the concepts that I'm sharing with you right now. I encourage you to reach out to us because this body of knowledge runs deep. There's a whole lot for us to unpack as you position yourself to become an expert with your ideal client. It is not enough. I repeat, it is not enough to say that my ideal clients are male or my ideal clients are female. This should never be the sum total of what you understand about the ideal client. It runs much deeper. You need to understand demographic biodata markers. You need to understand psychographic biodata markers. And yes, you need to understand geographic biodata markers because geographic has everything to do with how you are going to position your minimum and most viable offer locally, nationally, regionally, and internationally. But if you don't have the geographical biodata markers, you are not in that position of strength to make an informed and educated decision as to how you're going to scale your brand with clinical precision to fully align it to the needs, wants, and expectations of the ideal client. So that's a missed opportunity to attracting your ideal client. I'm going to pause here for today. I must say it has been a tremendous pleasure being with you today to share this content of information. And I look forward to presenting another episode of the Ideal Client Stress Test Ladder to you. Be blessed. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Reach out to us so we can have a one-on-one conversation on how you can apply this body of knowledge to your business. Be blessed. See you soon.
Pitch Deck 101 LLC out of New York. Do more than just support our clients to pitch their businesses to investors access working capital at 0% APR. We also support our clients to grow and scale their businesses faster and cash flow optimize. Pitch Deck 101 LLC recent partnership with 10x Branding Marketing LLC and Global Capital Inc. out of the USA has enabled us to form unique partnership with multiple financial institutions, which means we can do even more to accelerate the success of our clients. Let Pitch Deck 101 LLC give you the support you need to pitch to investors, access capital, access new markets, and grow and scale your business. Contact us now on 332-235-1099 for a free consultation.